And then we're going to see smaller coins like Tharwa that are just getting into the space. They're going to do those BNB type moves.
On-chain records show that Becker received payment for this promotion. So how much did he get paid for that undisclosed sponsorship? We scroll down, we see the TRWA transaction, we see the value of it. When it was transacted, $125,000. It broke. These 11 cryptos will now 20x in September. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Alex Becker's picks, and we're going to find out what he's investing in and what's going to drive demand to those tokens. So I'm going to try to share my insights on why I think these coins will go up or why they won't. Now, we also have to read the disclaimer because that is something he cannot stress how dangerous crypto is and how likely you are to lose money. Now, it's great entertainment that he says he believes in these things. They're going to go up for these reasons. But in the end, no YouTuber can predict what's going to happen in the future. A lot of this stuff is unpredictable because he's done dozens of polls. Usually 95% that try crypto leave in loss. If you are new to this, your chances of leaving in profit are extremely low. Because of this, my number one suggestion is do not trade crypto. So we always want to have some kind of reasoning why we're investing in something, why the price will go up, and if we should continue holding some of those terrible investments. All right, let's jump in.
You have minutes. You have no time. When this video is up, it's probably already over. And if you've been with me on this channel, we've been positioning for fucking years for this exact moment that just happened. ETH just cleanly broke $4,100. Not.
All right, with ETH hitting new all-time highs, what does that mean? Because we haven't seen an alt season yet, even though Bitcoin has broke through new all-time highs over the last year, but alts have been lagging. Now that's because we haven't seen a pump in Ethereum, because when Ethereum pumps, it brings altcoins with it. Because a lot of coins are in liquidity pools paired against Ethereum. If Ethereum is lagging behind, those pools aren't going to move. But if Ethereum is going up in value, so will all of those pools. Now, by pools, I'm talking about DeFi, I'm talking about all these tokens that have trading pairs against Ethereum, which most of them do. So this drives the value up of a lot of different altcoins in the crypto markets.
I'm going to be dropping my meme coin here really, really soon. And the people that are subscribed to this channel and subscribed to me on Twitter are going to be the ones getting on the whitelist for that coin. I make nothing for this coin, but I'm going to be scraping all the...
He makes a lot from that coin. He makes a ton of money from that coin with the attention it drives. So this is a genius content creator move because a few things here. One, he gets engagement with the video that drives more views and traffic and value to his brand. Same thing on X. Now, as a YouTuber, I know that you can't contact people. There's no way to contact someone in the comments to provide them that whitelist. I could say, hey, drop an address and maybe I can scrape that information. But there's no guarantee that it would be from you because a lot of people can use very simple, similar usernames. So yeah, it's going to be a little challenging to actually scrape that data. But again, meme coins, not that successful. Most meme coins fail over time, even if you are a celebrity or even a content creator or big figure in the crypto space. Most meme coins fail over time. So he's saying he's not making any money, but he's elevating his brand. He's growing his views, his subscribers, and that translates into a lot of money on the other side of things when he works with sponsors and shows that he can drive that attention. So he makes a lot out of this, and I see that strategy. It's great. I really got to start lying to people, saying things like that and hyping up 20x, 100x coins. So maybe I will. Maybe you'll see some of that stuff. But I think it's also fun to break down the strategies behind these things. Now, another thing, meme coins are no longer considered securities. The president of the United States launched one, and now no anyone can launch a meme coin, so they're no longer securities. So again, he is saying you can get on the whitelist to buy that coin from him. You're not getting an airdrop. You're not getting anything for free. So you just get the opportunity to be one of the earliest buyers, and you can decide on how valuable that is.
You should subscribe immediately because I think this coin's going to do some numbers. I think it's going to do very well. It's going to be the biggest so ever, and I'm just getting thinking about it. So go.
That's him. That's him making money. He's going to be making money off you guys. And from exchanges, you make money from the liquidity, from the trading, from potentially working with exchanges that say, hey, look at all the attention I have. People want to trade this. And exchanges make money when they list that coin to provide to you because every time you trade, there's a trading fee.
Still look at a lot of altcoins that we've talked about on this channel, but I've been bullish this entire way through. And why have I been so bullish? Because what's about to happen is you just saw ETH make that move I just pointed out. And then very shortly after ETH made a move, take that chart we just looked at. Does that chart even seem fucking relevant compared to what BNB did right here? You go look at something like Sandbox back then. This motherfucker went from 4 cents to $7. If you were able to predict and get into specific niches in crypto back then, you didn't just make.
So the strategy of looking at other coins and seeing that bull market is called anchoring. It's like anchoring your expectations to what happened in the past. Now, there's no guarantee that will continue to happen because the market has so many different coins, so many different ways to access those coins through the different exchanges that support those coins. So it's going to be very difficult, I think, now, knowing that the market is a little bit smarter, that there's more competitors, that there's more things trying to drive your attention, that we might not see something similar except for a few coins. We got to find out who is driving that attention. And a couple projects are doing that well. I think Base is doing that with Zora, even though that product is kind of terrible. We're seeing that with Pudgy Penguins and their PENGU token. So there are some things to look out for that we want to identify that could drive that demand and attention. But of course, if we want something lower risk, we could just invest in Ethereum or Bitcoin with a little bit of leverage. Now, you do have a lot of different options when it comes to exchanges, but I want to recommend Paradex because Paradex gives you that leverage. So you can trade up with up to 50x leverage depending on the trading pair. You can also trade options and you can also invest in some of their vaults. Now, their vaults do show their long-term performance, and they also have vault-traded funds, which are baskets of investments, where if you want to invest in multiple altcoins at once, you can do that very easily and with leverage. Say you just want to invest in their altcoin basket, you can do that very easily and get exposure to a broader part of the upside of these markets. So I would consider Paradex just because they have a points program. They haven't launched their token yet. So you could potentially be earning for trading anyway. Now, there's other options too, like centralized exchanges. But with centralized exchanges, you typically lose money and these bonuses are unachievable. So Altcoin Daily, he really markets it as you can get $30,000 for signing up with my referral, which is a little misleading. So up to $30,000. And for you to get $30,000 with an exchange, you'd have to deposit $250,000 and trade up to $150 million of volume. So those requirements are insanely high, while using a decentralized exchange makes it easy. You earn points, and those points can be converted to the airdrop when that happens. So if you want to get started with Paradex, there is a link in the description. 17 minutes in, we get his first pick, and that's Bittensor. He starts talking about AI and RWA, and those are the sectors where he sees growth. And the reasoning behind that is because traditional finance wants to start investing in cryptocurrency. They want something that they can understand, that they can value, and you can see tangible value with AI and real world assets. Now, Bittensor is a pretty good pick just because they are a growing ecosystem. You might have heard of Tom Lee, Fundstrat's head of research. He's been backing Bittensor for some time. He is one of the largest holders of Ethereum, and he's super bullish on crypto in general. So, Bittensor, solid pick. I don't know enough about Bittensor to use their ecosystem. It is pretty high level. I would consider it a professor coin where there's so much to it, but it doesn't seem like it's for normies. There's like a knowledge gap of like, all right, what's going on in this ecosystem? How do you get started with it? Who's using it? So those are other things to consider too if you are going to invest or you invest with the momentum.
The middle ground coins like Destra are going to return to their all-time highs and then some and be crazy 10, 20x gainers.
New coins like Graph AI, they're still little market caps, are going to do.
All right, so that was very quick. He mentioned Destra Network, and the coin has pumped since, but we have to remember Alex Becker has a lot of influence. His video got over 200,000 views, and sentiment is strong. So if he says something is good and people believe that, they buy the coin, that drives the price up. But is there demand for that coin? Let's take a quick look. Destra Network empowering the next gen AI with decentralized computing. So this is in a competitive space. We're going to look at the ecosystem here. We're going to go to DPIN. And I know Destra Network already has a couple competitors like Aether and Render. And that's just for the GPU side of things. Now, is there demand for this? That's a tough thing. So everyone will be speculating. They do not share the numbers of like, all right, well, how much money are we making? How many people are using these GPUs? How easy is it to use their platform, to use those GPUs, or to provide to their network? These are just things we have to consider. And there are a lot of uh, Web 2 solutions that do this very nice, where the GPUs are set up for you on the back end. You can use APIs for a bunch of existing models when it comes to AI, and you can pay with a credit card. And you can also train your AI model. So I've been playing around with the site called Replicate. It is amazing. And when I compare it to what's available in Web3, not great, not great. So I don't think Destra Network will do well long term. But in a bull market, where sentiment is everything and people get excited about things, I think it can move. The price can move. It is not something I want to gamble on. I want to gamble on things that I believe in, that have that momentum, that have sustained momentum over time. Now, if we look at their X very briefly, we can see that they just got listed with KuCoin, that they have changed their uh, architectural style. I guess anytime I see things that seem too complicated, I feel like that's intentional. I feel like they want you to not understand and make you feel like it's more technical than it actually is. I just want to understand, what is this doing and what value is it going to drive to the platform. So we can do a little bit more research here, but very briefly, introducing AI VM, AI native virtual machine, the first ever execution layer built from the ground up for AI inference, capable of processing 100,000 inferences per second on chain. Now, the question is there demand for that, and what value does it have compared to Web 2 solutions? That is something we'd have to kind of dig into. And even if there's a lot of demand or no demand, price movement is all based on sentiment. So in the short term, anything can happen, but it's not something I would want to hold on to in my portfolio long term unless it continues performing. So you can make these kind of bets. So in this sense, you'd be betting on the influence and community that Alex Becker has, or other influencers too that also talk about this project. For me, I'm out.
New coins like Graph AI, they're still little market caps, are going to do just goofy numbers onto blockchain. Houses.
All right, all right. So it was very brief. It was very brief. You'd have to catch it. He mentions the graph. Now, the graph AI is a platform that helps you decipher data on chain, where you can make inferences about like what people are doing, and and create an algorithm around that. So that is my understanding of the graph. So let's bring that up because we want to understand what that is. So the graph we see here, it's doing well over the last week. It's been around for over a year, kind of downhill, only $1 billion market cap. We check out the website. Now, I think this is really mostly for developers. As for a Web 2 user, you don't really see it. It's happening behind the scenes. So let's see. The fast, easy access to blockchain data. The graph organizes and serves Web3 data. So you can find out like, oh, are people wash trading on chain? What kind of activities they do there? When do people do the most transactions, and what type of transactions are they doing? So it helps you decipher that data and turn it into different types of data you would want to use. So subgraph substreams token API, pretty light. It's just like, it's hard to build a community around this, right? Where it's mostly for developers, for regular people. I don't see how you can get excited about that. But it works too. Like Pith and Chainlink, they have strong communities for their oracles. This is data that they provide to Web 2 and Web 3, where you can connect those things together, where you can have that blockchain data access internet data. So there's a lot of different things you could do with this, but for a regular user, you wouldn't really see that action. And if we look at its all-time oh no, I'm sorry, it's been around for several years. Pretty much not something I would invest in, just because this is hard to build sentiment and a community around, because the product is just on-chain data. And he's saying that AI is going to be hard to decipher in the future, and we're going to need something to um, find out if something's AI or not. Well, that will only work if those AI products are made on the blockchain so we can track it. Now, there are a few products doing that, but for the most part, like if someone decides to not make a product using the blockchain to prove that their source is AI or not, very likely we won't see that. So there's going to be some struggles here. Sentiment can move things very quickly if people believe in it, but for the most part, you would kind of be betting on, are people going to use this, believe in it, and invest in it?
That's going to be RWA. And so coins in this niche are going to go nuts because this is just where all the big financial money is going to move over. In our early market caps, like Clearpool, go absolutely nuclear.
So we can see in the past 7 days, it has performed pretty well, with Ethereum pumping, potentially also due to Alex Becker's video on it. And he says that they manage their treasury. So let's find out what Clearpool does. We're going to go to the website, we're going to go to their X, and we can see here the first decentralized credit marketplace with over, well, almost $1 billion in loans originated, and a total value locked of 85 million, which is okay, which is not like a crazy amount when it comes to DeFi. Um, so we'll have to see. We can launch their app that is available now. And yeah, this is just like a DeFi protocol, but I think the difference is that they work with more traditional finance platforms like Hex Trust. So let's take a look. They support multiple chains. And no, this is on chain. This is all on chain. I still don't fully understand what Clearpool is. So let's go to X. We'll copy their username. We'll go to our buddy Grok here. What is this in simple terms? And what is the demand? And who are the competitors? That is some quick crypto research for you. And then we'll get some results, hopefully good results. Clearpool Finance is a decentralized finance platform that acts as a marketplace for institutionals to borrow and lend assets. Demand for Clearpool, stable coin liquidity needs, institutional adoption of DeFi, high loan volumes. Competitors are Goldfinch, Alchemy, Credix, Maple Finance, Aave. Aave is one of the biggest ones. Compound Labs, or I guess just Compound. So that's what they're also known as. And Clearpool Finance is a DeFi platform enabling institutions to borrow stablecoins without collateral while offering lenders dynamic risk-adjusted returns. So that sounds pretty good, but if we want to learn more, we could always search in other sites too. And maybe we want to look at a platform like RWAXYZ to find out where are the flows happening in the real world asset space. So we can see here, if it comes to stable coins, who's issuing the most, where's all the action. Most of that is happening on Ethereum, with Tether, followed by Circle, then Athena. Athena has been pumping recently. They've been getting a lot of demand. You can see that they're up 90% over the last 30 days. And let's just search for Clearpool. They are not being tracked. So something to consider. There's always a lot of different platforms we can invest in if we want to get involved with RWAs. And we also want to understand the competitors. It sounds like Clearpool has a lot of competitors. I mean, it could still do well. We'll have to wait and see. But we'd have to research, are they the best? Do they have the most potential? And can they drive the most price action?
And then we're going to see smaller coins like Tharwa that are just getting into the space. They're going to do those BNB type moves.
But why do you believe in Tharwa? They just got into the space. They're not being tracked by anyone. They've been around for about a month, and maybe there's something else behind that. Now, we do see in this video he goes over these coins super quickly. Like, he doesn't really give substantial reasoning of why these will continue going up, but he's just saying, well, these are also in the sector and they'll also go up if we have this bull market, and you'll make 20x gains by next month. So if we look on Twitter, one of the best features of Twitter is community notes. So he posts his video, and then let's check out the community notes. The linked video includes a promotional advertisement for the token TRWA or Tharwa. On-chain records show that Becker received payment for this promotion to the same wallet where he was also paid for promoting Qubit and Gray. So he did not mention that this token was paid for, and he briefly went over it. So he kind of sandwiched in this coin with a bunch of other coins that are more established, just so you think that, oh, these coins are all established, and gives him credibility to shill that token. So let's take a look at Tharwa and find out what that is, just because we want to know what we're potentially investing in. We see that it's up since its launch, but it's only been around for 1 month. Market cap at 65 million, only on decentralized exchanges, which is pretty risky. We check out their X. Fairly new accounts, not a lot of followers, no mutual followers for me at least. When I'm in crypto, a lot of people know about these projects and you start building up trust. But what are they doing? The first RWA collateralized stablecoin backed by an AI-driven RWA hedge fund. All right, well, what value does that bring? RWA backed stablecoin. I mean, looking at all this stuff, it's a nice website. Definitely too early to tell how it's going to do long term. And you're taking on a lot of risk for an undisclosed sponsorship. So that's a great thing about X. There's community notes, and people find out if there was a sponsorship happening and they find that on chain transaction. So, how much did he get paid for that undisclosed sponsorship? We scroll down, we see the TRWA transaction, we see the value of it when it was transacted. $125,000. Well, it made him a lot of money. Will it make you a lot of money? Time will tell. Now, as someone who makes crypto content and does sponsored content, I do disclose that. And from what I've seen, legitimate projects don't pay that much. Legitimate projects that are here building long term do not pay that money, but the projects that do pay a lot of money are the sketchiest ones that just want to get in and take your money from you. And those I do not work with. So that's just something that we might want to take into perspective. Is Tharwa a scam? They're paying a lot of money. They're not disclosing that. Uh, it is. It very likely is. Could you make money in the short term? Of course, but long term, chances are very low. So good luck.
For example, TAOBot is like the little brother trade to Bittensor or Tau, because when Bittensor goes and makes a 50% gain, this goes and makes a 3x gain.
Now, he's mentioned this in previous videos. We've gone over it briefly. So we'll take a look at TAOBot. We see the price has been steadily going up over the last few years. You know, it reached its all-time high at the beginning of this year. It's finally reapproaching that. And the chart doesn't look terrible. So we see the ultimate Bittensor solution. It is pretty much your DeFi platform for Tau, just because the actual DeFi experience is pretty bad on there, and that it gives you access to their different subnets. SN is a subnet, which is just another project that is building on the Bittensor blockchain. So TAOBot, one-click participation in the Bittensor network. Select starting currency, choose between ERC20 tokens or the ETH token itself. Invest in any subnet, swap, and let us take care of the details. Track your DTAO token. So that is a pretty good user experience, and you can clearly see the value there. And it is a product that makes it easier to access things that are happening on the Bittensor ecosystem. So not terrible, and the price action looks pretty good.
blockchain to just launch, and it's the fastest growing decentralized exchange in recent history in crypto. I think with this and what it's doing on AVAX is going to do absolutely wild numbers. And so you don't got to buy Blackhole. I'm going to be straight with you. I have giant bags of Blackhole, and I think decentralized exchanges are probably the best place you can bet on, which is why I think TAOBot and Blackhole are just.
Then we have Blackhole, which is not good, So let's say over the last, it launched a month ago. Yeah, it is a brand new token. He said he's an investor. He was very transparent about that. It is being built on Avalanche. We can see the website. What are they doing here? Blackhole, the central trading and liquidity hub on Avalanche. Now, there's always a similar product on other blockchains that wants to be the liquidity hub, that wants to be the CLOB, the central limit order book. They want to help be the liquidity pool for everyone on chain. And it's very speculative. We don't know if they're going to gain that traction, if people are going to want to put their liquidity there and use that liquidity rather than a decentralized exchange directly. So there's definitely some challenges. It's not totally a unique project. I would say this is similar to, we've seen so many like launch pads in the past. We've seen so many decentralized exchanges, and you're kind of just betting that this one picks up. So we're really relying on Alex Becker to pump this coin if you are investing in it. And yeah, that's basically it. There isn't much positive things to say about that.
Because PENGU is the NFT brand for the masses. And I told you, just like CryptoPunks, down here I said, buy PENGU. And well, this thing is just going to keep going. This is the Disney of crypto.
I agree with this. PENGU has that distribution. They have that positive community. They keep growing their brand. They keep getting into different markets. They share their royalties with the NFT holders. So, and yeah, they continue to build. So PENGU, I think, is going to be one of the best meme coin and community bets out there. We had a Doge do well in the previous cycle. And, even though that the market cap is in the 2 billion range, when you see a coin that's only 3 cents and you're not in crypto investing and you don't understand market cap, regular people are likely to buy that just because like, oh, it's associated with a cute penguin. So we're kind of just betting on community, the sentiment, and other people believing in it. And that's how meme coins work. So valuations don't really mean much. We still have Dogecoin and SHIB at much higher market caps. And the founder, Luca Netz, even said Pudgy is undervalued because it should be more value than SHIB. They're not going for Doge, but they're going for SHIB. So I see that, and that is something I'm also investing in because I've seen their momentum, I've seen the brand growing, and it's kind of hard not to be in crypto and not see penguins, not see Pudgy penguins, not see the PENGU token. So they have a lot of eyes on what they're building.
But if you want to make like the big brain IQ move, what's next? It's going to be gaming. And so when it comes down to gaming coins, the only two I'd really suggest right now, if you want big gains, it's going to be Super. Again, I have a massive bag of Super. I have a massive bag of a lot of the coins I've talked about on this channel. I talk about coins I like, but Super is probably the most hooked in gaming coin.
So let's take a look at Superverse. We can see they survived the bear market. They survived through that massive dip when we thought crypto was going to disappear. With the FTX collapse, with Luna collapsing, they survived all of that and they continue building. In the last year, they're doing okay. But a lot of different GameFi projects shut down over time, so it's nice to see that they made it this long. Superverse unites the biggest Web3 community with the best crypto games. So seems like they are a GameFi hub, 100,000 block distributed to stakers. Community engagement looks pretty good. Taking a look at the website, Gaming United. Super connects the biggest Web3 community to the best crypto games. Superverse is an authentic and irreplicable. You cannot replicate it. Web3 network of highly passionate partners and players. We have built-in reach for any title. So it seems like they are the distribution hub for gaming, crypto gaming. Yeah, just games in general. Let's see. So you have to like the games that they onboard. All the best games, one token. Super is being integrated across elite Web3 gaming titles, creating the first unified crypto gaming network. So if you like the games that they onboard and you're willing to play and pay and see that growth there, that is what you're investing in. You'd be investing in that growth and having access to the community and their titles. So that's how I'd evaluate it. But for myself, GameFi is always a pretty tough investment because not many succeed over time. And it's really hard to get people to pay to play these games. And it's even harder for a game to pay players and succeed long term. So, there are a few indicators. If we see that they're generating revenue, if people like these games, if they can partner with the right games, then it could be successful.
And I think Beam also has probably the best other narrative in gaming crypto. There's a lot of other good ones out there, but I think if you want to make like really good gains, those are where it's going to be at.
And then we have Beam, which is doing okay. They've been around for a while, I believe. Yeah, they've been around for 2 years. They've had their moments, even though we were in a bear market, they did pretty well back then, but in the last year, not so great. So, what is Beam? It's for gamers with everything from games to AI to consumer apps to compute. And we'd have to do more research to see what those apps are doing to drive value to their token because there are quite a few different blockchains doing something similar, or even blockchains that aren't gaming specific that have games that do well. So the key indicator for Beam would be, do you like their products? Do you believe in them? And is there demand for their token? So here's what we learned. A lot of picks, a lot of disclaimers, and one sponsored coin that he did not really disclose, at least according to what people have found on chain. So, you can definitely make a lot of money if we are in alt season. A lot of people believe that, including myself. There are risks you should be aware of if you are investing in crypto. Definitely a lot of opportunity. I've made a lot of mistakes myself, and I continue to learn and grow and try to become a better investor. So with that, I hope you learned a few things, you got a little more insights, and if you want to join the community or start using Paradex, there are links in the description. So with that, I hope you got your full value for today.